YouTube? How are you doing? Welcome. It is a Saturday and we are in a typical weekend range. As expected, no? As expected, as most weekends are, your typical weekend range. So, well, good to see you. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me on this Saturday afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you live in the world, of course. In this particular live stream, which is going to take about an hour, we are going to cover Elliott Waves. I will speak about the higher time frames as well, like the morning video very shortly, just to cover it for the Americans who probably just woke up, or at least it's morning there, who knows. And then we are going to zoom into to the range. But not too much has changed, so I don't really want to spend too much time focusing on the 4-hour range on the chart, right, that we've been in for many days now. I do have a few thoughts that I want to share about the current 15-minute range, so that is what I will do. And then I guess we quite quickly might move into the chatting and Q&A section. So you can ask me questions and I'll be happy to answer those questions. In this particular live stream, we will focus on Bitcoin with regards to the questions that I get mainly during live streams with regards to the questions about altcoins, that is. I will do, or stocks, I actually got some stock questions as well. I will do another altcoin slash like stock stream focusing purely on alts or stocks or whatever asset, you know. And yeah, that will come. So make sure to check, keep your eyes open for the announcements. We did a very big 6.5-hour altcoin stream going over 19 different altcoins just before I left on holiday at the, I think it was mid-February, at the end of Feb. So make sure to check that out. Maybe the altcoin you're interested in is in that video. You can find it on the homepage if you scroll down. But we are going to do more, of course, in the future. It was a great success. I very much enjoyed it. And apparently many of you did as well. So I'll be interested to also do a few of those at least throughout the year. And yeah, see... it's still going to be a Bitcoin focused channel, but it's nonetheless interesting to also keep an eye on the alts, also for myself, of course. So that being said, welcome everyone. Good to have you here. Mr. Friends first. How you doing, Mr. Friends? Welcome. How is your AI journey going? Like, what have you been up to? Mr. Friends is the guy that made an AI Koens channel, trading channel song. Before I left to like on holiday and got married. He also found, he is the only one that actually found my meme, because there's a meme of me in the Netherlands and Mr. Friends found it very quickly indeed. So yeah, he's starting to become a bit of a legend. I also he's also someone that is very good in developing stuff inside the AGGR website, like coding stuff. I don't even know how it works, but I'm very impressed by his work. So yeah, curious to know what Mr. Friends is up to. Sarega, welcome. Good to have you here. Moneyzilla, how are you doing? Welcome back once again. Dave P, let's go. Indeed. Flotty, what's up? Live at the lake with Koen. Best regards from Austria. In the mountains, as always. Good afternoon, Mr. Espresso. Austria, that's amazing, man. I mean, of course, we're going into summer, so some nice hikes, right, in Austria, as well as Switzerland. It's such a beautiful country, and I love mountains. I love the mountains, man. Rob Cromer, how you doing? Welcome. Good afternoon. Just got up. Good morning for you. Yeah, it must be like, what, 6 a.m.? Usually when I go live around 2, 3, it's like 6, 7 a.m. for you in the morning. Bina, welcome. Afternoon from Dutchland, Holland, the Netherlands, anything. Cheese country, the cheese. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Chaturanga Lakmal, hi. I'm Shilanaka. Welcome. If you are a Shilanaka, I will call you Shilanaka. But your name on YouTube is Chaturanga Lakmal. It's probably difficult for me to remember all the individual names, but El Baroidan, welcome. How are you doing? From Taiwan. Was there also an earthquake in Taiwan? I'm actually not sure. I didn't follow everything. But yeah, that side of the world is, there's stuff happening. Make sure, you stay safe. Stay safe. Important. Akshay Kanur, Love from India, love from the Netherlands. What's up, Crypto Aman? How you doing? Welcome, 9 a.m. in Canada. Eric Dorion La Flamme. Jeez, that surname, as always, eh? Drinking tea from my TEDx cup. I did a TEDx presentation a couple of years ago. 2019. Got a nice cup from it. Yo. Tea. Afternoon tea. So English. Where are you going? I'm not going anymore. I just came back from South Africa. Got married. And was on holiday with my friends and my family being there. So busy times. As you know, as you would expect, everyone being there, everyone like most of them were tourists that never visited the country yet. So I've been there many times now. My wife grew up in Cape Town. I have seen Cape Town many times as well. But of course, all my friends are over, and not everyone can do the same activities at the same time. So sometimes you do things twice, and you try to manage. Everyone's asking like, shall we do this or that or this or that? So yeah, we had a busy time, but it was a great month. Not gonna lie. Wedding pictures still coming. We don't have them yet. Ashley, how long would it take for the wedding pics? A maximum of 8 weeks, and we're currently approaching week 4. We're still pretty much in week 3. We got married on the 9th of March, so we still have we have to wait a little bit. We do get some teaser pictures eventually, but we don't have any pics yet. But once I get them, I'll make sure to show some to you as well and take you along the journey that we had on the 9th of March. Slap that like button. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. 2 days ago, things were safe. Okay. Yeah, I heard there was quite a big earthquake in the area of Japan. But apparently the wave coming after was very shallow, so that's good. Mr. Schob is in the background. Yeah, absolutely. George, how you doing? George, what's up? Welcome. Okay. Let's get started. Gonna organize my folders a little bit so that we can go through everything efficiently. As mentioned in the introduction, I don't think I'm too keen to speak about this range. It's also weekend. Weekend tends to be very horizontal. So I guess I want to pick this range up again or count this range. Like, of course, I got folders. I got triangles. We have the WXY as well. I guess I can at least talk about the scenarios, but I don't really like to go in detail in this range. I prefer to wait till the weekend is over. But I do have some more information about the local little bit here. So we have that. Yeah, so let's at least put this in my list so that I won't miss it. Also the CVD folder. There we go. Very nice. So let's start on the weekly. It's going to be quite quick. So let's start. We start again on the macro, all right? Weekly time frame, a little bit of repetition, but for the Americans that just got up, you may not have watched my morning update. For me, morning. For you, it's like midnight. So I'll shortly go through that and then go through the range, but I kind of like want to focus on the local 15-minute range and then chatting and Q&A. Okay, let's start. So first things first, bullish scenario. Logarithmic chart, we are on a weekly time frame and price has also pumped almost 400%. So therefore, it usually is better to use the logarithmic chart, and do not forget to put your fibs on log as well. Click this button, right? So we have the normal bullish scenario, one can argue, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially working on this wave 4 over here at the moment, right? By all means, this is the target area for your wave 4. Already touched a 1s, 2, 3, 6 to the 05, 63.3k, 53.3k, invalidation 0.618, 49.3k, fibs taken from the low of 2 to the high of this wave 3. After 4, we expect an impulse to the upside to wave 5. I got a question. I don't actually know where, if it was Telegram, Discord, not the comment section, because I reply to everyone always in the YouTube comment section, and actually also always in Telegram and Discord. But I read it, but didn't have the time to answer. So I'm not sure if the person is here. But if wave 1 and 3 are quite equal in price, then wave 5 has a higher probability of becoming an extended wave. So yes, wave 5 can be extended. However, this wave 3 on a linear chart did hit the 1.618 trend-based sub-extension. Now, as mentioned, the logarithmic chart is a bit more preferred due to the length in the waves. I like to just use the highest point here. So in this case, we didn't hit it on the linear chart, and if I put it there, we actually did hit it, the 1.618. What is interesting though is the 1.618 also in the linear, if I put it on here, did not get hit. Now usually, especially in very bullish environments, you would expect the 1.618 to be hit. So therefore we have scenario number 2 coming. So if we pull a trend-based fib from the low to, let's do this and let's do that, toggle on the 1-to-1, put it on there. Then you can see on the logarithmic chart, right, wave 3 and wave 1, they are pretty equal. So yes, probabilities are there for an extended fifth. However, extended fifth waves, like the fifth wave being extended in an impulsive structure, is uncommon. So therefore, I do prefer looking for wave 3 options and then a shorter wave 5 after, compared to having an extended fifth. Now, in a very bullish like environment, you do tend to get this stuff, right? Blow off tops, extended fifths. So in a bull market, it is definitely not weird to get a extended 5, but then I would prefer to have it like as the final fifth, right? Because you expect 4, 5, and then another 4, 5 blow off top type of thing, so that you get this. I need to get off the brush, zoom in, so that you move towards the upside. You get like your 4 or 4, and then you get another big 5, right? Like as a final move, I suppose. But yeah, I prefer to look for extended thirds or third waves, because that is by far most common. And with that in mind, this is currently another scenario I have. This would be very bullish, where you have a 1-2-1-2, and this is another 1-2 in the making. Here you can see the 1.618, which isn't touched for wave 3, as I've just shown. Only on the linear chart, if you take this high and not that one, does it touch the 1.618. So that is not very common. Usually you do want the 1.618 to be hit for a wave 3. So with that in mind, at least I do have this scenario on my chart to observe what happens. Here we have a 1-2-1-2 and another 1-2, which means much higher prices, right? Much bigger wave 3 still to come. Now in this scenario, the target area for a wave 2 generally is between the 0.5 and a 786, but as you can see, very shallow, potentially again a very shallow retracement. Now that is quite rare, quite uncommon for a wave 2, but in a strong bull market, as you can clearly see, that can happen, right? And it has happened in the past as well. If you have seen my cycle, macro and high time frame videos, and we go to the monthly time frame on the cycle chart, like the whole chart of Bitcoin, you can see that retracements can be very shallow indeed in strong bull markets. So that is at least something we keep in mind. At the moment, I just keep the 236 and 382 on my chart because of the previous wave 2s. One important thing is this wave 2 is not allowed to be a triangle, right? You can have a sub-degree triangle like a WXY, and then wave Y is a triangle, right? That is no problem, okay? But wave 2 by itself can't be a triangle. That's not allowed. So we prefer to see triangle. Like in this scenario, we want to see the lower time frame for our time frame triangle scenarios invalidated, okay? And then eventually we look towards the upside. Now, interesting, between these two scenarios, the very bullish one, where we go for a big wave 3, right? Or move for a wave 5. Two things. First, we look for a triangle. Do we get a triangle here? Yes or no, right? If we get a triangle, we have to think wave 4. If we do not get a triangle, then we have a potential wave 2, which opens the door for a bigger wave 3. Second thing we have to keep in mind is if we break this high over here at 74K, what is the volume always keep an eye on the volume, right? At the moment, price here moving to the upside, and we can see volume is increasing, right? And we want to see that continue in this scenario, because if we do go for a big wave 3, we want to see volume increase, because a wave 3 by far most commonly has the highest amount of volume, right? So that is what we want to see, a move up on increasing volume. The moment we get a move up on decreasing volume, right? We're on a weekly time frame, so not on a 15-minute, right? On a weekly time frame, if you get a move towards the upside and you get waves, but volume is slacking, it increases probabilities for this scenario, because here you expect the highest amount of volume in your wave 3, then a wave 4, and then in wave 5 you would expect a lower amount of volume. So those are the two things that are interesting at the moment and will decide the probabilities between these two scenarios. Now the bearish scenario is a flat structure here, looking for a 3-wave move to the downside, currently lower probabilities. Generally market structure, this ABC has a very long wave C as well, lowering probabilities. Another thing is that locally at the moment, from the high at 74K, the first move to the downside has a higher probability of being a 3-wave structure, not a 5-wave structure. And if we are going down for a wave C is a 5-wave move. This is a 3-wave move in a wave A, W, X, Y, X, Z in this case. Then we have wave B to the upside, a zigzag, and then we want to see a wave C to the downside. Now a zigzag is common in a wave B, we keep that in mind, but wave C should be an impulse, which means it has to start with a 5-wave move on the lower time frames. But probabilities are not for 5-wavers at the moment, they're higher for a 3-wave move to the downside here, lowering probabilities also for this scenario, even very, very locally, increasing probabilities to still take the high sooner or later. With regards to flats though, most common target for B is up here, 98K, 122K on the logarithmic scale, right? Fibs are pulled from the high to the low of this wave A. Currently, we are at the regular flat target, 1 to the 105, but as mentioned, probabilities are higher to still move towards the upside. We have an important support resistance area here, old all-time high, old all-time high. Currently we made new all-time highs, of course, and we are testing this area as support, which is quite interesting. So I added this on my very high time frame support resistance type of chart, one can say, right? So this is an interesting box that I have, 65.5K, 57.5K. Below that, we have the volume profile of this range, which was very important indeed. Resistance, resistance, move towards the upside, resistance, support, broke out. Little order block here on the weekly time frame as well. Once we broke out, bit of a retest and continue. This channel is interesting. We'll see how price develops because on the logarithmic chart it didn't really break out that high just yet. It is very nicely respected. As you can see, we broke out. If we do range for quite a while, we could retest this as support and then continue in bullish market structure. On the linear chart, however, there is quite a big difference, as you can see, between the log and the linear chart channel. Here we broke out, retest, and we move towards the upside. That's also what you like to see in an impulse in a wave 3. Cool, we go to the 4-hour time frame. And as mentioned, I don't want to talk too long about the 4-hour range here. I will just show you the scenarios, but I don't really want to go in detail as I prefer to wait for the weekend to pass. I'm actually curious, do we have some news and stuff next week? Holy moly. Wednesday, we definitely have some stuff going on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No idea what that is. Actually, I have no idea what everything is, but I just look at the red boxes. So we do have some news coming. Interesting. So it might increase volatility. As I mentioned, I don't know what the news is, but volatility might increase. So a couple of things that I pay attention to. I actually think I accidentally removed my WXY folder. Yeah. So I have to put that on the chart again. Anyway, first potential triangle here, right? A, B, C, D, E, and then we expect continuation to the upside. In this particular scenario, your wave C is already in after a simple zigzag to the downside. Now, 4 out of the 5 waves have to be zigzags in a triangle. can be 5 out of 5 as well. But if one wave is not a simple zigzag, it by far most commonly is wave C or D, and not A, not B, not E. So generally you're not looking for complex structures in A, B, and in wave E. If there is a complex structure in, let's say, a B or an A, look for something else, right? It really reduces probabilities for a triangle. But in this case, we have a simple in C and potentially then a WXY double zigzag in your wave D. Of course, one can argue that potentially your D here is already in and that we are working on a wave E where you have your A, B, 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 and then your C zigzag, move to the downside and then move up. But we'll see, right? I don't want to be too hasty with triangles. You can see that wave A, B, and C are quite long in time. Wave D would be quite shallow, quite short, I should say, in time compared to previous waves. It is normal for triangles to have shorter waves as you get closer to the apex, but I don't want to act too quickly, so I prefer to leave my my D up there. With regards to the targets, we did hit a resistance. We filled a 1 hour gap over here, and we hit an order block. So that was the resistance, but just above we have a little bit more resistance around 69.8k, which is interesting, which is this over here, daily naked point of control and the point of control of this range. Above that we have a daily at 71.3k, but you then get very, very close to these highs. So I think that if you pass 69.8k, probabilities really increase for price to take the triple top, and then you would invalidate this triangle. So preferably in this case, price stays below 70k. You might touch it, but you want to stay below. You don't want to get close to the highs here. And then move for your wave E. Or if we go down first and then get a bounce, that might be your E. But we'll observe that once it comes, right? I update you guys multiple times a day. We have enough opportunities to see what price does and then always adjust accordingly, right? That's what we do as traders with new info coming in. Yeah, so I actually don't really want to go in detail. In your wave D, for a double zigzag, you're going to be looking for a WXY. That is at the moment not... this has to be your A, your B, and then you need another C to the upside. We'll wait and see how that develops. I want to talk about the local range in a minute anyway. So yeah. And what is this? This is your ABC to the upside inside your wave Y. Hopefully people don't get too confused. So what happens in a triangle is we're looking for a wave D, but then if D is not yet in, you look for a zigzag. That's your W. Then you look for X, or X already finished, and then for a Y, and Y has to be a zigzag as well. Now if X would be finished, you're looking for an A, B, and then a wave C to the upside. I think I'll remove these sub-degrees and just observe this from a 4-hour time frame perspective. The second channel, triangle, is wave C not yet being in. A, B, and then wave C is down here. In this case, we are looking for W, X, and then eventually a Y to the downside. What slowly starts to lower probabilities for this scenario is the longer price is ranging here, the lower the probabilities become for a wave C that goes this low. And that has to do with your W, X, and then you're looking for a Y, right? Wave X has a finished first structure over here, a 3-wave structure. So if we are looking for a wave C down, we are looking for this. Let me actually clean this up. So we are looking for a WXY double zigzag, okay? Now, if your wave X is finished and we're looking for Y, then this has to be your A, you need a B, and you need a C. And the C has to be extended because your A is pretty short. So A, B, your C has to go to the 1.618, which is less common for a wave C. And that is a trend-based wave extension taken from the high to the low of W to the high of wave X. Now, however, if we zoom in, this has to be your first wave, your wave A. But this can only be a impulsive structure, as a wave A should be a 5-wave move. And a 5-wave move can be an impulse or a diagonal. In this case, it can only be a diagonal because of the overlap that we have. However, in a diagonal where you have a wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, preferably each wave is shorter than the previous wave. So wave 3 is shorter than wave 1. However, in this case, wave 3 is longer than wave 1. Now, that is not an invalidation based on the new rules of Elliott waves, but it does significantly lower the probabilities for a diagonal. And that, of course, doesn't really give probabilities to a wave C to the downside already from the high that we have here. So that is why, alternatively, I have this X floating, and I just want to, as mentioned, wait for the weekend. Give me more information, give me a bit more clarity, where this wave X might also still finish at a later stage, and then you get a solid ABC to the downside. So gotta be patient there, no? Yeah, this is the ABC. Okay, now we get to the new info. I shared this already early in the morning in Discord, but the price action that I saw locally here, and then this, reminded me of one particular section on the chart in January. And the reason I was reminded to that section on the chart is it is such a unique wave structure where you pump hard and then you go sideways for such a long time. In this case, we can't look for a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 is way too long. This has to be a separate structure, either down or up, of course, right? That's, of course, what we're looking for. Either you look for an ABC or whatnot. However, this move is very short compared to what we see here in time. If I take a fib time from the low to the high and I double click, and I'm putting, I had the brush from the low to the high, and I double click and I toggle on, what shall I do? The extension, not much of an extension. I have to change this one. Anyway, we already passed the 6 fib time, meaning this structure is already 6 times longer than this structure over here. And the longer this goes sideways, the lower the probabilities that this is an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3. In general, by the way, it's already very low probabilities that this move to the upside is a wave 1, because if this is a wave 2, it is a very, very long wave 2, right? Way past the 6 fib time. Way past the 6 fib time, right? Let's actually have a look how long it actually is. 9. We are currently around 9, maybe even 10. Yeah, we're pretty much at like the 10 fib time now. So this part is now 10 times longer than this move to the upside. Very rare for that to be a wave 2. A wave B can be significantly longer than a wave 2 and still be a wave B. But we start to get into like the time-wise, we start to get into the area of even a wave B starts to be very long. So in other words, it can increase probabilities to sooner or later take this low. Might not happen during the weekend. Usually that's quite unlikely due to the ranging behavior of the weekend. But what I like to show you is this. If you go on your chart to the 20th of January, you will find this. Let me actually go there. So it's just an idea. It's like, it's called a fractal. And price does not repeat, but it can rhyme. And this is, low number 1, low number 2, take the lows, quick move up, horizontal for the whole weekend. Just to show, this is the high. This was pretty much the end. Friday night, we made the high. Sunday night, we ended the range. So I had to think about this section on the chart, and it doesn't mean that, we're still in a different context, but it's just, I immediately had to think about this once the range started. So if we take a fib time from the low to the high of this move, then this range was, let's have a look here. 15, 16, 17, 16 times longer than the impulsive structure to the upside here. What we did have in this range, which we don't really have now, is we had a significant order block. For the people that followed my channel, while price was ranging over here, you know we were talking about this order block being very important resistance for price. Hit once, hit twice, move to the downside, and we didn't get support. Also on this way to the downside, if you remember, every bounce to the upside, up here, up here, up here, up here, every bounce had bearish CVD divergences. There was no support whatsoever. Also, the Bybit CVD line, we had lower highs on price, and the Bybit CVD was like this, like insane up, right? For the ones that remember. So I had to think about this structure. We don't have a nice order block at the moment in the current range. So resistance is a little bit meh, but I'll show that in a second. Anyway, it made me think of this scenario, so I just took this piece of the chart, which you can do with the bars pattern. So you go to this button over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5, click on bars pattern, and then you can just select a piece of the chart and then you can move it around, right? So that's what I did. And then if we put that piece on top of what we have at the moment, then this is what you get. Low number 1, low number 2, take the lows, impulsive move up, and you start ranging. It looks pretty similar. Again, price doesn't repeat, but it can rhyme. So let me remove this for a second and hide it. As you can see, this time we don't have a nice order block, right? That's what we had previously, but not this time. Even on the lower time frames, it's just moved down, up, down. It's not too like significant area of resistance. What we do have as resistance, however, is the golden pocket and the point of control and value area high of this little structure, which I will show you. Did I? Yeah, I think I removed these. I had them on my chart this morning. If you do follow my chart, by the way, it's open. Link is in the description. You can just open my chart, you know, whatever. It's free. It's there. And you can see everything I do on my chart live. So whenever I ride high, right, this is what you see right now on your screen, not by watching the live stream, but actually opening the chart. So whenever I work on scenarios, you're able to see it, or if I have certain support resistance areas on my chart or whatever. So if you're interested, there's no paywall. We don't do that stuff. So here we have the point of control of that small little, actually I'm not, let me go to the lower time frame. This is not, was this the one I had this morning? 1 second here. Yes, okay. The value area high now is higher. The value area high is very dependent on the pool, but anyway, you get the point, right? So with regards to resistance, we have, of course, the golden pocket, the point of control, which is where we pretty much found resistance here, right? Hits ones and range, bearish CVD is building, by the way, and we have a value area high just above. So those were areas of resistance, and not to forget, bearish CVD divergences. Now, what I noticed in the morning as well, of course, I made a macro update, and I didn't want to talk about this range, but that's why we do it now. I did share it in silver, though, where we hit the 886. We made a low, moved up, moved down, hit the 886, and started to move up. The moment you make a fresh new low, you go up and down and you hit the 886, probabilities do increase to take this low at a later stage, as the 886 is more common for a wave X or a wave B and not for a wave 2, right? It's lower probabilities that this is a wave 2 compared to this being part of an X or a wave B, increasing probabilities that this structure to the upside is corrective, not impulsive, increasing probabilities to take the low sooner or later. Now, in a diagonal structure, there is the possibility that price in a wave 2 goes to the 886 but that is a rare occasion. I actually think one of the latest times that happened was here. I tend to there you go, this one. I tend to remember the exact positions of when it happens just because it is so rare. So here we had a lot of overlap to the downside. We were looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a diagonal over here. For the ones that remember, 886 was touched. Very rare for a wave 2 in a diagonal. And then price came up, big bearish CVD divergences. This is where we went live with the stream as the probabilities were higher to take this low. And once we started moving over here, the stream was on. And this was so far the biggest ever stream I've had. We had over 500 to 600 viewers, around 300 subscribers in less than a day. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, you know, you tend to remember these type of things on the chart because they are so rare, right? It doesn't happen often. So yeah, you have an 886 touch here. Higher probability it's corrective instead of impulsive. No. Also on the chart, we do have some bearish CVD divergences. So over here, lower high on price, but on yellow, higher high on yellow. Again, it's the yellow line, right? Just like previously on the 20th of January, that was also yellow. So again, lower high on price, higher high on the CVD, bearish CVD divergence. And this bearish CVD divergence over here, right? What you can see is price is moving to the downside, especially here. Lower high on price, much higher high on the CVD. Now this one already played out, right? This one here locally as price took this small little red candle low. But it is nonetheless interesting. Price moves down, a little bit of bearish CVDs, and we still have the bigger one. Earlier this morning, we did have bullish CVD divergences. Here, higher low in price, lower low on the blue CVD. Price moving to the upside, taking this high CVD played out. And now again, blue just keeps continuing to the downside. So you have a battle of the CVDs, bearish with yellow, bullish with blue. However, the blue CVD here, we call that a second CVD, right? It's the same pivot low, but for the second time, you get a bullish CVD. The first one already played out, took the high. Price comes down. Once again, you have another bullish CVD. But because it's the second CVD, the probabilities go down a bit for it to play out. So something to keep in mind, I suppose. Now, it is weekend, and price loves to range in the weekend. And what you can see, what happened on the 20th of Jan, is that price, let me actually remove price here for a second. We made that low, we made a second low, we moved up, right? We moved down, we moved up again to take this high for the second time. That was a swing failure pattern, and then we moved towards the downside. So, and also here we had big bearish CVD divergences. So what I like to do in this scenario, in this case, is really be very patient with trading in this range. I did not open any trade whatsoever in this range that we're in at the moment, and I am not interested. That's my personal trading plan environment choice, right? I'm not a scalper. I'm more like day trading with my main strategy. I'm more swingy with Elliott waves. I'm not interested in this in particular. I like to wait for the weekend and see what's up. But if price, of course, here moves to the upside, right? It looks very similar, right? Low 1, low 2, low 1, low 2 over here. Then price moves up a bit, hits golden pocket. We go down again a bit and maybe up a bit. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right? So just patience. We also have a triple top here. Interesting. Makes me think, what's the retracement? I just missed out on the 886, but yeah. Wait and see. That's what I wanted to share with you. Let me put this back on. I do always like, especially during the weekend, to have a volume profile on my chart to see what the volume is doing. Extend right, there we go. Yeah, support resistance areas around price. This is it. There you go. That's the analysis. So before we go in chatting and Q&A, shit, when did we start the, anyone? Analysis started at 12. Okay. Mark's got my back, eh? What's up, Alex? How you doing? I think Koens looks better as a married man. Oh, I bet my wife loves to hear that. What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? I hope the little one and you and your wife to be are doing very well. Analysis at 12. It was 12, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, and Mark, but I'm happy Mark wrote this down here. And now it says at 12. So yeah, I want to look at the, like, the main analysis has been done. Of course, we'll be talking about still analysis related stuff, but thanks for the bumps, guys. Pin message. There we go. Okay, let me scroll up, see what you have been talking about shortly. Now I can still do this, right? I'm still in a position to actually scroll up and see what you guys have been saying and stuff. But when I those live streams where I had the biggest one, 500-600 people watching, it's impossible to keep up and scroll up and stuff. I just gotta stick at the bottom. I do have experience because of my professional gaming career with many viewers, and you just keep an eye on chat, but not yet on YouTube where it goes that fast. It doesn't happen often. Yeah. Heard about that one. Stay safe. We were here. We tried to make it sound right. Yeah, I just say George. Makes it easy. What's up, YouTube Shorts? YouTube Shorts, or just Shorts. How are you doing? Hopefully you're feeling better with regards to your position, as that was difficult. Thanks for your kind words, man. Busy with AI agents. AI agents. Agencies, or like, is that work related or like more like hobby related? Good morning, Prem. How are you doing? From Toronto, Canada. Toronto, other side of the world. I know one, actually I know two Canadians. I know Carl Jr., who is a Trackmania player. And he is the world champion 5 times now, I think, or maybe even 6 times. And one of my mentors, Charmaine Crooks, who was an Olympic sprinter for your country and has participated in the Olympics several times. And she is an amazing person, and she is now the president of your football federation. Interesting. Maybe a Band-Aid. Welcome, Maybe a Band-Aid. How are you doing? Jeroen, what's up? Currently working. DHL courier. You're driving around while also listening to the stream. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully you have a good day so far at work. Driving around on either a scooter or a car, I can imagine. Duke, how you doing? Hope your honeymoon was top. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Officially, it wasn't our honeymoon. We mainly stayed around for a month because of family and friends and spending enough time with everyone. Of course, my wife only sees her family once a year pretty much. Our honeymoon will still follow, but because we're gone for a month already, we don't want to immediately go into another like multi-week holiday. So which then is a honeymoon. But for our honeymoon, we want to do a full road trip through Italy for about, I think, 3 weeks. It's likely going to be like next year, spring, I think. And my wife already made the whole plan. She already knows what we're going to do, how long the drives are, how many kilometers, how many hours do we drive, and then yeah. She is prepared. I'm just there. You know what I mean? She does the planning and stuff. I'm just there. I'm the driver. Like, not that she can't drive, but she likes to have a drink. I don't really drink, so I'm usually the designated driver. But yeah, it's gonna be fun times. Dave P, how you doing? Welcome. Otter Gang, Jon, hello Koens, how you doing? Nice sunny day. I'm in Barcelona. Nice sunny day in Barcelona. A nice cloudy day in the Netherlands with bits and pieces of sun. It has actually been quite a good morning, not gonna lie. I went for a run as well with my wife this morning. I'm training her now for half a marathon, and we did a relaxed, easy, short distance run today. And she also got Strava now. She's all hyped up. So she's got Strava. Like for her birthday, one of the presents for her birthday last year were running shoes, and that's where she really started to enjoy running with her new shoes. Before that, she had really bad shoes for running, and now she got a Garmin watch as well, the Venu 3S. So she got that one today. It arrived today, and yeah, very excited for her to have the hardware as well to track stats and stuff. She installed Strava on her phone to keep track of statistics, and also on her watch now. So that's really cool. And I'm a runner myself, so it's quite cool that she enjoys running that much as well. And we're gonna do half a marathon in Nice, in France, south of France, on the 3rd of November. If you live in the south of France, make sure to be there. I'd love to meet you. I'm going to be very, tired, but it's going to be enjoyable. I've done many half marathon distances when I trained for the full marathon obstacle run in the Netherlands, but it's still 21 kilometers. So, yeah, whoa. The blue line holds less weight than the yellow. Both are the same in how much weight they carry. So from I've used these lines for years now, both of them, and both carry the same amount of weight. What's more important is having screen time to identify which one is most important in the context that you're at. So if you're at support, and one line shows bullish divergences and the other one shows maybe bearish, like it's contradicting, but you're at support, you would trust the bullish divergences more based on probabilities, right? So it does depend on the context, maybe your Elliott wave counting, and you never use an indicator only by itself, but both of the lines are as important to me. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. I was talking to Eclipse, or actually he was talking to it in Discord to GZ about halving and 1,000 days from bottom to top, something like that. What's up, Dave Digital? How are you doing? Otter Gang indeed entering, right? We have Alex also here, Dave P, Dave D, Dave P and Dave D, both here, many Daves. Sunrise, also from the Otter Gang. Hi Koen, one question. What row size do you use for the volume profile? 70 is the volume area, right? And the row size depends on the range. Mainly depends on the time frame. So now it's 15 minutes, it's low time frame. 148 is my lowest setting, but as you can see here, I have several settings, and which one I choose depends on the time frame and the range. So a volume profile on the 4-hour chart. Let me actually go to the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, when I have this information, where is it? From the start. So I would prefer to use a 300 here because of the amount of information in this range. However, if I go to a lower time frame, right? 300, might go 500. 500 I go, it's quite it's uncommon, then I would go to very high time frames. If I go to a daily time frame and I want to see this range here, I tend to go to 500, 1,000. So I most commonly use the 148 and the 300. And when I have bigger ranges, higher time frames, I will go to 500 or 1,000. And if I have a very big selection, I will go to 5K, which is pretty much the max it goes. It depends on how much detail you want to see with regards to, for example, your point of control or your value areas. You are thinking BTC down and log. Log, I suppose, is log chart. I'm not on log at the moment. This is the linear chart, only on the higher time frames. I tend to go to the log, but I've just done my analysis here, so make sure to check that out. I think it started at minute 12. Now we're in the chatting and Q&A, and we observe what price does based on the analysis. Bettina, welcome. How are you doing? Cap. Alter Gang is here. Mac Mascot as well. Look at you guys go, eh? Look at you all go. Howdy, howdy, howdy from sunny Vegas. Vegas, Nick. So I actually live in Vegas as well. We were in Vegas, October 2022. Very nice. We've pretty much been to the Strip every day. And of course, that's where a lot happens. Went in the roller coaster as well on the Strip and like through the hotel. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Was a great holiday. Was with my wife as well. I asked her to marry me in America, by the way. Carmel by the Sea, Monterey. AI agents actually multiple AIs working together to achieve a task, like a manager, quality checker, code planner. Wow. I think, Mr. Friends, like in your life, you sound like the type of guy or girl, but watch out what you say nowadays. But you sound like the type of person that really tries to automate as much as you can. I love automation, but I'm not very handy with. I do use AI like ChatGPT and stuff, like questions and certain like a training plan or whatever. But yeah, coder, planner, quality checker, no idea. AI agents. I gotta research this. AI. What is an AI agent? Very interesting. I'm gonna keep this tab open that I just opened with just Google AI agents just to check what it is. Up, it's true, Mark. It's true. Nice little wine. You are fully gearing your wife to create a mega wife. I see your plan. Shh. Don't put the secrets out there, man. It's gonna be super mega. Dave Bicycle, Dutchy, looks sus. It's sus. What's that tool called again, which shows you the liquidity in the yellow and blue bars? Do you mean the heat map? Sometimes people talk about heat maps in Bitcoin TA. Anyone? Oh, like you mean this stuff, right? That's called a heat map. So Mark Dutch brought me here. Welcome, Wesley. How you doing? Wesley van der Braak. Sounds Dutch. Welkom. Welkom. Dutch is joining. Alter Gang. It's almost like an Alter Gang stream now. But instead of the Mr. Alter himself, it's this other random Dutch guy. You know. McMascot, how are you doing? Oh, FRVP. Yeah, the volume profile. Oh, in bars. Oh, sorry, like this. Oh, yes, that's this one here. Fixed range volume profile. This one, fixed range volume profile. Yeah, it's great to identify the volume in a range. And you can put it on extend right, and then it will just extend with each new candle. So when new information comes in, for example, if price would move to the upside and creates a lot of volume in this area, then the volume profile automatically changes. So you don't have to continuously like do a new pool, which is very nice. I was waiting for them to add that. Right? In the past, they didn't have that. You continuously had to drag it out yourself, but they got it now. Inderdaad vanuit Nederland. What's your favorite animal? By the way, where do you live, Wesley? Like, what city are we talking about? It's a small country. I'm from Gouda. Alex, what's your favorite animal? I think I'm going to be quite boring, actually. Look, the thing is, my favorite pet would be a dog. Dogs. We always had dogs in the family, also at home. My parents, when I grew up, we had 2 dogs, bigger dogs, not the smaller dogs. We had Drentse patrijshonden. So those are dogs where the head touches the hip, let's say. Their back is probably around knee, upper leg height. But you know, that's my favorite pet animal, I suppose. But favorite animal, I don't know, never really thought about it. I mean I love nature and I love animals in general, but do I have a specific favorite? I don't know. Probably if I want to choose an animal, I also want to know all about that animal. So if I would say whatever elephant, and I'm like, yeah, it's gray, it's big, it has 4 feet. I don't know. I then want to know more about, you know, why would it be the favorite? So I actually don't know. I actually don't know. We need a Koens emoji. Oh, I'm not a designer, but yeah, I'd be happy to have or someone make an emoji, make someone have make one. But so the emojis I made now, which are the boring ones, logo of the channel, I made them in paint.net. You know, I had my logo, cut it, used the bucket, different colors on the edges, and voila. Very easy. We need to create the raccoons or raccoonians for you, Kun. Too bad the raccoon isn't a standard emoji. It's not. Do people like, is this like from your phone? I do have like an emoji thing on my keyboard. So if I press the emoji, you can see this is on my keyboard, and now I can GIFs, emojis, and whatnot. If I do, there we go. So Otter. He's from the ghetto. Demon near Amsterdam. I see. I used to live in Amsterdam. Yeah, Demon, very close. Nice. So I'm a little bit more south. There you go. Can you check Solana? In this live stream, we mainly spoke about and will speak about Bitcoin. I will do another big altcoin stream in the future, but the Solana analysis, high time frame analysis, actually has been done at the end of February. It's on my channel. So on the homepage, if you scroll down there, you'll see it. I did 19 altcoins in 6.5 hours, and Solana was one of them. Hey Koens, there are 2 ways to measure a fifth wave. Wondering if you could share how you do it with the FIB-based extension. Absolutely. So there's actually more than 2. So if we have a wave, right? Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have a wave 5, right? There is 3 ways with Fibonacci and 1 way with a channel, but I don't like to use channels. So actually, you don't really see me use channels anyway. So the first one is, you take a fib from normal Fibonacci, from the high of 3 to the low of 4, toggle on the 1.236 to the 1.618, and this is your first target area. The second target area, or the second way of getting a target for 5, is you take a trend-based fib from the start of 1 to the high of 3 to the low of 4, and you toggle on the 0.618. And then another one is the 1-to-1 of wave 1, so trend-based fib extension from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to the low of wave 2, toggle on the 1-to-1. And the final one, so these are the three fib ones, and then the final one is you take a channel from the low of 2 to the low of 4 to the high of 1, and then the high of the channel, the upper trend line, can be a target for a wave 5 as well, but I prefer horizontal movements. And then the target area is this in this case? And this is just drawn, right? So proportions. Wave 4 would be longer than 2 and stuff, but nonetheless, probably a bit deeper as well. So these are the different ways to get to your wave 5 target area. The Koens emoji probably would be my face or something. I only have as mentioned, the logo. I don't really have an animal or something. But I like a dog. But yeah, raccoons are cute, funny, smart, and steal from the rich. Especially this last one, hey. Doc to Daddy. Pleasure. Just caught up from the beginning. Ah, okay, I see. So you were the one asking the question. Pleasure. What's up, bro? You making any more trades today? Probably not. Weekend, it's like mentioned earlier that so far in this range here, no interest at all. And that will probably be at least the rest of the day, if not also tomorrow. So it's going to be a slow weekend. Raccoons. Wesley, hey, Wesley, be like. What's up, Jonathan Shaver? How you doing? Or Schaffer or Shaver? New to the channel, welcome. Nice to have you here. Hope you're doing good. On this channel, we talk about Elliott waves on mainly Bitcoin and sometimes altcoins as well. Probably in specific altcoin streams or stock streams or whatnot. But good to have you here. Welcome to the community. Nice to have you. Dasa Gaming, what's up? Emojis are made in seconds on Canva using 480. Yo, look. I might have been a professional gamer, but if there's a problem with my PC, I'll try to figure it out. But I don't know much about the hardware and all those type of problems, right? So it's the same here. I might have a YouTube channel, but I don't know anything about editing. That's why I barely edit my videos, right? I press record, I press end the record and ship it. And if I need to edit something, I do have a Camtasia, which is very easy to use. I have it for years already. And I just cut the piece out where I made a speaking mistake or whatnot, and then I put things together, and there we go. So yeah, easy life. But at the same time, it's also a weakness. I know I can learn it, and it's probably very easy as well. But yeah, I always have been a guy that really focuses on what I'm like good at or my skills. But I do like to explore and learn new things like trading and did you see it? We just changed the bars a little bit, but I just I love learning new things. But yeah, interesting. Raccoons. When potential reversal for Bitcoin? I mean, what time frame are you talking about? That would be my question. On a weekly time frame, you'll probably have to wait a little bit because probabilities are still higher to move above 71k. Right? This is a time frame dependent question, really. So you went for peace and quiet instead of Amsterdam. Yeah, and also you get more like space for what you pay for, right? Amsterdam is very expensive, actually. So we have a nice garden. We have a lot of nature and water and animals around here as well. We love running in the green. So yeah, but we're still central enough that we're in Rotterdam, The Hague, and Utrecht in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and Amsterdam in about 40 minutes. So we can go to the biggest cities if we wish to, which is very nice. It's a great location, to be honest. I can make emoji in Paint 3D in seconds. These guys. Yeah. It's nice to see that in the community and also here, there's many people with different skills, which comes in handy sometimes as well. So do you have a favorite protein trading platform? I do have a favorite trading platform, which is BingX. That is the one that I use, which is also the reason why it's the only trading platform that I have as a partner on the channel. And yeah, they've been for years already very good to me as a platform. I like using it. And yeah, if you're interested in BingX, so I rarely ever talk about BingX as my trading platform, but in the description there you have 2 links, because there's currently 2 campaigns running that are really cool. And of course, if you would register a new account through the link, then you also support the channel, as the channel will get a small little bit of the fees, like 0.025%, I believe, of the fees if people trade. So it supports the channel a little bit. I mean, all the small things help. If you don't want to support the channel, just go to Google and look for BingX, right? So yeah, you barely ever hear me talk about the partners, but I do like when I was live on when I was a professional gamer in the past and I was streaming on Twitch. I did always have, like, below my stream camera, I had this like square where I had sponsors, and this, because I was playing for a team, and then you have the sponsors, just like the name, which would be, for example, BingX, and then Acer, and then whatever other sponsor, like they each minute you get a new logo there. Maybe that's something for the future, so that people actually know, right? So they know, okay, so this guy trained, but yeah, at the moment I don't have that. But yeah, you can't use it in the US. True. I mean, what platform can you use in the US? You know what I mean? It's very strict. Coinbase, I believe, is one you can use. But it's actually very difficult to have a proper one. So gotta run. Good luck, Mark. Thanks for popping in. Better than to suffer in Leiden. Yeah, he knows, Mark. He knows. Cheers. Pleasure, Liquid Mafia. Cheese and waffles sound great. Absolutely. Cheese in the Netherlands. Waffles is also, you have the Belgian waffles and you have the Dutch waffles. They're both really nice. Today, dumper pump, what it's gonna be. It's all probabilities. It's no certainties. So in your trading plan, like I did the whole analysis earlier, right, where I pretty much answer your question. And when one likes to trade, have a strategy, because no one knows what's going to happen. So what is it going to be? That is a question that someone's asking for a certainty, but there's no certainties, only probabilities of going up or down. And with regards to then trading it, that depends on your trading plan. So if you see what you want to see in your trading plan and you tick all the boxes, you enter. And then it's up to the chart to give you profit or a loss, right? You don't know what happens after you enter, but at least if you enter a trade based on statistics and your strategy, and that over a bunch of trades you're going to have success. So that's also, for example, with my main trading strategy. Let me go to statistics. So with my main trading strat, if we go to, so I do have some statistics here with me. So in November 23, the 23rd of November, we had a month. This was also tracked by Diamond members, by the way. In Diamond, people trade the strat as well, and they also collect statistics, which is nice. So we had an RR gain of 18, 100% win rate in that month, which was pretty sick. December, we had a win rate of 40% only, but we did make 3R. Then in January, we had 60%, 7R. In Feb, we had 7R. In February, we had 14R. Right? And 83% win rate in Feb. In March, I actually still have to complete the statistics of March, but the R was 1, and the win rate was actually very low. So that's why, and I didn't, because I was gone the whole month, I only got statistics for someone in the group, but I'm not sure if it's complete, because the risk to reward ratio is, or the win rate was 30, which is very uncharacteristic. And April so far is 100% win rate and a 6R. So the win rate average over the past 6 months is 65%. And over the past couple of years, because I have many more statistics, The win rate of my strategy is between 60 and 70%. Some months go into the 80 or even 90%, and other months can go below 50%. You know, sometimes you have a month of 40. It's not always, so far, didn't really have a losing month. Right? It's very, very rare to get a losing month. It might be losing because of fees. If it's a bad month, it might be a losing month because of the fees that are paid. But that's very rare that we get a losing month. So basically, at the moment, over the past 6 months, well, including April so far, but actually it's 5 months and 6 days, the RR gain has been 49. So it's almost a 50% gain from an RR perspective, which doesn't give you also the compounding effect. So based on the portfolio size, if trading all of these setups is more than 50%. Statistics, and my strategy is developed based on statistics. My main strat, and then Elliott Waves is of course just Elliott Waves, but that's more swingy. This is my other strat. So yeah. I have 6 steps for people that want to develop their strategy, which I highly recommend, and I can talk about it if people are interested. Do you stream every day? Yes, if I can, but I always inform people if I can't. So I tend to stream every afternoon, Central European time zone. And then yeah, it's what my channel says as well. So at the top you can see in the morning video, afternoon live stream, evening video / live stream, but usually it's a video. Ooh, wait, I just noticed this. When I came back from South Africa on Wednesday, I did a live stream again. We were at 8,813 subscribers. Now it's Saturday. We're at 8,994 subscribers. Almost hitting 9K. Guys, that is 187 subscribers in the past, well, 2.5, like three days, right? Pretty much 2.5 days actually, with my flight and stuff. That's absolutely insane. That's insane coming back to this. Sure, that's exciting, eh? 9K, sure, 1,000 more, and then we're gonna go towards the 5 digits. Unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm driving. I'm a driving advertisement for you. I have the stream on very loud. Yeah, I soon gotta pay you for ads. Hey, put it on the side, like below the DHL logo. Buy DHL, by koenztrading. Alas, Bing X, yeah. What game were you playing as a pro? Trackmania. It's a racing game. Raise your hand if you know about Trackmania, please. If you write Trackmania and Koens, you will find a lot of information. Brother, what do you think? Yeah, so I answered this question already just now, actually, because I had the same question earlier. It does give me the opportunity to actually speak about 6 steps you want to take or go through to have a very good probability of being a profitable, consistently profitable trader, right? So, and it will help you to trust yourself. So you don't, like, because it's all probabilities and it depends on your plan, right? Price going up or down is a probability question. So step number 1, right? Step number 1, try as many free tools. I'll go through them quickly because, you know, many people have heard them already. But step number 1 is go through free tools. You know, try free tools. Try the tools on TradingView, right? Try the free tools. You don't have to pay $500 for some random indicator giving you dots, right? Try the free tools. Try the free indicators, right? That is step 1. In other words, you build experience in the TradingView environment and with the analysis tools as well. And if you're a fundamental analyst, and these steps might be different to you, but step number 1, try as many free stuff as you can. Step number 2, find your favorite tools and build statistics on them, right? Step 3 is combine some of your favorite tools based on these statistics. Combine at least 2 or more, right? and build more statistics, but now on the combination, which means now in step 3, you're going to start working on the strategy. That's what you're doing. Now you're starting to build a strategy, right? That's step number 3, build statistics on the combination of tools. Step number 4 is tweak and adjust the combination of tools. Add something and remove something to the combination of whatever you use, right? The tools that you use. And track statistics, because what you're now trying to do is you're trying to improve your statistics, right? By back testing, forward testing, check the data, see if you can improve your win rate or your risk to reward ratio. And then in step 5, that is when you go and start trade your strategy. So you're going to trade a combination of tools that based on statistics have resulted in good enough statistics to give you confidence to start trading. So you literally trade the combination of statistics. You have rules and entry rules because of your statistics. So you start trading it in step 5 and start trading it with a low amount of money. Don't go in like bam, full ham. Start with a low amount of money and first work on your trading psychology. Work on your head, right? Your technical skills can be very good, but your trading can be really shit if you don't have your trading psychology under control. And then step 6 is where you start to increase your portfolio size, right? You're slowly going to increase it, preferably slowly, because you have to get used to the bigger losses. Because if you lose 1% of 100, it's $1. 1% of 10K is $100, right? So you got to get used to the bigger losses, and what is a lot or little for someone, that depends on personal situations and scenarios. But increase it slowly so you get used to the bigger losses. No strategy gives you a 100% win rate. If there's a guy sharing 100% win rate, it's a scam. And some months will be better than other months. And I just literally mentioned some of the statistics that I have of my trading strategy, where some months 100% in November, 83% in Feb, 60% in Jan, but then you also have a 40% in December, right? So it goes ups and down, it flows. But what's important is in all of the months, also the 40% month, there was profit, right? 3R profit in December, 40% win rate, 1 to 3 RR is my strategy. It's always a 1 to 3, very, very nice, right? A loss is -1, a win is +3. So it ebb and flows per month, but then eventually over 5 months and a little bit, 49R. With the strategy that I developed myself following these steps. Does it take a lot of work? Yes. It takes a lot of work. And that is, I guess, also why a lot of people don't want to build statistics. But it really helps. Coinbase. Raccoons. This is going to be a thing now, no? What's up, Peppersil? I'm not sure if I may have done Neo in the 6.5 hour altcoin stream I did in February, but in this particular live stream, I only have Bitcoin in the background. I will, and that's what we do on this channel since February, is we do plan separate altcoin streams or to come stock streams, where I will analyze altcoins and stocks that are voted by the community in the live stream. So we first do a voting, then I will do the top 10 or the top 5 that was voted. Then I put all of the mentioned alts or stocks in a random picker, and then we get some randoms as well, because you also want to give attention to what some that may never be voted highest. So, but not at the moment. But I don't know, maybe I have done Neo. It's on the homepage. I forgot all the 19 coins I analyzed. Yeah, waffles. Hey, we got a wasp on my window here. That's the first one I see this season. But waffles are Belgian. Yeah, man, the waffles are great. Very nice. Maar je hebt ook de wafel, de stroopwafel. The syrup waffle, I guess, is the literal translation. That is very Dutch again. Milo, welcome. New here. Want to thank you for your technical analysis. Really competent. Thank you, Milo. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Thank you for writing something in the chat as well. Really appreciate it. I love engagement. I love chatting, in case you didn't notice. and so do many of you as well, looking at the chat, right? But welcome, man. Welcome. Good to have you here. What's up, Saeed? Missed you. Yeah, was gone for a month, but we back now, so you don't have to miss me anymore. I missed engaging with everyone online on the YouTube and the Discord and Telegram. Like at a certain moment in Telegram, I missed 2,000 messages. I was like, whoa. In Discord, I generally am quite up to date, and I do check Telegram as well quite often. But during the holiday, at a certain moment, 2K behind. Like, holy shit. But yeah, back again. You kept say thanks to the Otter Gang. Yeah, thanks to the Otter Gang popping in, coming in hot. Mr. Alex, the leader of the Otter Gang, arriving in this stream, and others being here as well, bringing the team with him. Cheers, Alex. Never heard of a Dutch waffle like this. You never seen these? Man, they are so nice. Not healthy, but very nice. And this, like, oh man, you gotta do this, eh? Put some ice cream with the waffle. I mean, you can also do chocolate stuff. There's a couple of variations, but this is the basic one, right? But with ice cream, sure, nice dessert, yo. Do that, like, if you cook for Christmas this year, you, right, behind the cam, try something like this. Like it's very simple, it's delicious, and of course besides the waffle with some ice, you can make it pretty. You can have some other stuff and some berries, some like whatever, strawberries and whatnot. Like you can make it look pretty, but maybe a piece of cake or whatever. But it's very, very nice. G-Boy, BTC, Hong karaoke, I don't know what you're saying, my friend. I do not understand that language, unfortunately. Jonathan, not MC, BTC upset 70k. I mean, on a weekly, like higher time frame, we are currently ranging, and it looks corrective, right? Not impulsive to the downside. So probabilities are higher to still move above 74k. Sooner or later, but that's on the higher time frames, right? Not today. Is there a way to find confluence with Elliott Wave and momentum oscillators? Absolutely, yeah. And then I saw here as well, I was wondering how you would find confluence. Okay, so there is. Most of the Elliott Wave traders, if they do use indicators, they use the RSI. Because of the divergence between a wave 3 top and a wave 5 top. Momentum goes down while price is making higher highs. The problem with RSI is, however, is that if you have a scenario where you have multiple 1-2s, you also expect multiple 4-5s, which means you're going to have a wave 3 drop in a 4, and then you finish a higher degree wave 3 and another 4, and that creates multiple RSI divergences while price is still climbing. The first RSI divergence on, I believe, the daily time frame or 4-hour time frame was at around 34k. We're now at 74k, right? Or now 67. But so if one was like, yo, I go short because RSI divergence, so I'm going to exit my position. Ooh, right? So it all depends on how you use it in the context of. It's not an indicator by itself, but indeed in a combination. So if you develop your own momentum oscillators, which is very impressive, by the way, congrats. The confluence between Elliott waves and your indicator can be found by, well, first of all, be able to count Elliott waves, right? Be able to count Elliott waves yourself, or go to people on YouTube that have that have a certain amount of skill in Elliott waves, right? And then you can stop the video at a certain moment or the live stream, see how they count it, and then put your chart next to it and see how your momentum oscillator reacts at, like, oh, this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does my indicator do, right? And then there's another, and then you observe. You first have to observe. Okay, we are now in a corrective environment. What is my oscillator showing on a daily time frame, on a 4-hour, on a 50-minute? Depends what type of trader you are. Are you a swing trader, day trader? So you just wanna observe on different time frames. How does price react, or how does my indicator react during a certain corrective structure or impulsive structure? Corrective move to the downside, most likely a zigzag here. Okay, what does my indicator show? No? Three-wave move to the upside, likely a zigzag. There's the potential for a WXY, but I prefer a zigzag here at the moment. Got to analyze this bit actually in a bit more detail. But what does it show, right? ABC down. What does it show? We have an impulse to the upside here, right? 1, 2, moving to the upside here. What does it show? And that's interesting. So if you can, you want to find a pattern between your Elliott wave count and your oscillator, but you'll only get this by first counting properly or using counts of others and compare your oscillator, and then find divergences or other things that can help you in your trading. Yeah. Well, a little bit of a move. Let's see if we do reach the golden pocket again, if we can actually break it, or if we're gonna like SFP swing failure pattern the previous highs. Ooh, some volume coming in. Let's see. This is, I need this one. There we go. The point of control has already been tested many times, so I don't expect anything around the point of control. I just want to remove it. Okay, there we go. Let's see what happens. A little bit of action. That's nice, at least for now. Let's see what happens if we take the highs. At the volume indicator, yes, volume is very important with Elliott waves. So I absolutely look at the volume indicator. Yeah. And volume is very important when we talk about a wave 3 or a wave 5. As in a wave 3, you prefer to have the highest amount of volume. And in a wave 5, you want to make a new high, but on lower volume. That is what a real waffle is. Elliott wave oscillator plus TTM squeeze is a good indicator used by another good analyst I follow. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so another one. Makes sense with RSI. That's why I made the not MC indicator. Good to see those divs that RSI may not show right away. That is good info to you. Pleasure, man. Impressive you made your own. Who's your daddy and what does he do? Mine is a food technologist. How confident are you that crypto did not hit the top already? You mean at 74K? Right? I suppose, like 74K being the top. Probabilities for 74K to not be the top at the moment would be like 90-10. Like there's no like 95-5. There's very low probabilities that is the high at the moment from an Elliott wave point of view. We can continue ranging, no problem. We can go up, we can go down, we can go towards 60K, we can go towards 70K, doesn't matter. It's probability wise very low that is the top at the moment. There is, so far with the info we have at the moment, no sign of that being the high. So of course you dip again. What was the first dip? So we grinded towards the upside and then we had this move almost a solid 20%, but that's normal, right? But the probabilities are much higher. This is a 3-wave structure. They have another 3-wave structure, another 3-wave structure. There's no impulses. So if this would have been an impulse to the downside, 5 waves, 3 waves up, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's when probabilities would change as well, to take this low and move potentially much further to the downside. Of course, we can take this low still, but in a corrective manner. This being a 3-wave structure does not support this being the absolute top. This having a higher probability of being a 3-waver, increased probabilities that everything after is corrective, increased probabilities to take the high sooner or later. So yeah, very low probability that is the high on the higher time frames. Did you ever try trading just the naked price action, and what was your personal conclusion? I actually never traded the naked price action. Well, I guess in a way, when I started and was very unexperienced with TA, the only thing you use are like trend lines and patterns, and then you have a whole dose of emotion because you're not experienced. At least I was a very emotional trader. So yeah, you see one big candle and you're like, oh, I gotta join, you know, FOMO, whatever. Not nowadays, but yeah, I never, like, what, you know, once I got serious, never traded naked price action. A fully clean chart. I always have stuff on my chart, and my main strategy which you know, of course, Jeroen. Well, arguably, like you know, Jeroen is a diamond member, so you know, arguably, the main strategy is close to naked price action, because I can go to a chart without any analysis and identify a setup. I don't need any horizontals or any TA on the chart. Interesting. If you're curious, ask my Dutch about my indicator. I don't want to, no. I mean, feel free to, like, I don't mind if you can earn a buck by people using your indicator, you know, good for you and good for them if it's a useful one. But and if people can code it themselves, I think that's very impressive. Usually what I say with regards to building a strategy in the beginning, that's probably for newer traders the best thing to do, is first get experience by using some free stuff, right? Free indicators first. And then, I don't know if you have to pay for your indicator or not, of course, but use free stuff first and then build statistics on some of the favorite things. And, you know, that's where it starts. I think it's, especially with some of the stuff you find online, it costs like $1,000 or 700 or 500 for some random indicator with a green and a black dot and an orange dot and a red dot and a green dot and I don't know what kind of dot. That's absolutely useless, because you still need to build a strategy around that indicator. It's not everything, but so you still need to learn it and develop it and build statistics. So you're still back to step one. The only difference is you already spent hundreds of dollars before you even started your step 1 and 2. Yeah. Is there a method where you could calculate the length of the wave 4? Yes. Yes, absolutely. So if we have a chart and you have your wave 1, your wave 2, your wave 3, your wave 4, and then your wave 5, right? Most commonly, your wave 2 common target area, that is between the 05 and the 786. So wait, I'm going to talk about time in a second, but first I want to put the fibs on, right? Common target for your wave 4 is between the 236 and the 05. And time-wise, this is where the fib time comes in. You take the trend-based fib time, right? Click on the trend-based fib time, go from the top of your wave 1 to the low of your wave 2, right, to the high of your wave 3. So those are the 3 clicks, and have these on your chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, most commonly, right, wave 4 is longer in time than wave 2. That is why my fib time starts at 1, but if it's shorter, it's shorter. If wave 2, so this is the rule of alternation. If wave 2 is short, deep, and simple, wave 4 has a higher probability of being shallow, long, and complex. So wave 2 and 4 are in balance with one another, generally, right? So here we have a short, sharp wave 2, and here we have a long sideways shallow, or a deep wave 2, and here we have a shallow wave 4, right? Longer in time, preferably, therefore longer than the 1-to-1. But once you start to approach the 5 or the 6 fib time, meaning wave 4 is 5 or 6 times longer than wave 2, that is where the probabilities for a wave 4 go down. And if you pass the 6, then it really affects probability. So time-wise, preferably your wave 4 ends before the 4 fib time and after the 1, right? But once you start to go to the 5 and the 6, the probabilities are slowly going to the downside. So that is how you can get a better idea of time with regards to a wave 4. A free valuable indicator. I mean, I can always. People are, if it's free, feel free to share it, man. Yeah, no problem. I mean, it might be very valuable. Maybe people want to check it out. No problemo for me. Just write it here, and people can have a look. Yeah, no problem. FTR, I use Schaefer's indicators my meeting, and I have for longer than a year. Yeah. Schaefer's indicator. There you go. You got a fan as well. What makes skeptical is that other crypto YouTuber treating crypto like it's just started. But when I look at the chart, it looks to me that there's only the 5th wave rally missing, and that's it. I think you're talking about Milo. Do you talk about the move up from 15K? Right. You're talking about the current bull market, I suppose, from 15 to 74, and you have the feeling that you're close to the end, and others are saying it's close, it's almost the beginning. Now wait, before I repeat that part, what I recommend, Milo, you came in a little bit later, of course, in the live stream. What I recommend is go to the beginning of the stream, minute 12, or you can check that. This is maybe smarter. It doesn't really matter. It's the same info. My previous video, which is a video, 10-minute video, 8 actually. In the previous video, I talk about the macro, so the weekly time frame scenarios and where we are on the chart from an Elliott Wave point of view. And in the beginning of this live stream, I repeated that part as well. So I can recommend to check that out. But from an Elliott Wave point of view, the worst bullish scenario is that we are in a wave 4, and then you get a wave 5 up, to finish a higher degree wave 3, then get a longer couple of monthly candles wave 4, and then a final push wave 5. So at least another 5, 4, 5. From an Elliott Wave point of view, the most bullish weekly macro view is that we're now working on a third 1-2, but I'll explain. So you can, if people don't know what I'm saying, go to the beginning. That we have a triple 1-2, wave 1, and then wave 2 was from 15 to 30, back to 24. Then the second 1-2 is from 1 to somewhere in the 40s, and then we started ranging with the ETF news, right? Back to 39, and then that's the second 1-2, and then the third 1-2 is from 39 to 74, ranging now. That is the most bullish one, but it depends on the volume if we break out of this range to the upside. And what was the second thing that I mentioned in my analysis? It depends on the volume. Oh yeah, and if this range is going to be a triangle or not, because a triangle is not allowed in a wave 2. So we are still waiting patiently. But we do expect more upside still. What's up, Laurie? How you doing? Also from the other side of the world. Australia, I believe, right? Silver and gold breaking out has a signal in my mind that rotation and risk of markets are coming. Yeah, always. If everyone is, what's that quote? If everyone is fearful, be hopeful or something, and if everyone's hopeful, be fearful. If everyone is buying, starts, I don't know, like there's these quotes. I don't know, I just follow my own plan. I don't really look at other people. I rarely watch other YouTube videos. I do have a few like channels I follow, but trading wise, crypto wise, analysis wise, very few. Very, very few. DXY I think is about to have a bull run most are not expecting. Oh, that could be interesting as well. I haven't been checking the DXY for a while. Could be interesting to check that out next time. It's almost 5 p.m., almost 2 hours. I gotta go soon though. Still have some other stuff to do as well. In the morning I did my analysis in 5 minutes. Yeah, there you go. You gotta keep it simple. No? A strategy doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be difficult. However, what's actually very difficult, which from my experience is quite difficult, is to simplify a strategy. So you got your tools, and of course there's like certain rules and whatnot, but trying to simplify it, that's takes quite a lot of time, because it's like a mierenneuken. You're gonna remove a small little thing, and then you got to build statistics again and see if the results are quite similar. So yeah, lots of data. 100k more land than credit. There's also bearish on a high time frame when considering this impulse on the RSI. Yes, as well. On the RSI, there's a growing bearish divergence already from 34 or something. 100k is going to be very important if price gets there. That's the question. If we have the normal bullish scenario, and this is indeed a 4 and then a 5 and another 4 5 to come, we might move up in a wave 5 towards 80-90k, go into another wave 4 range for a couple of months, then go to a wave 5, hit 100 and reject. Yeah. So it's a very exciting move to the upside. Check out Reds and tell us if you see a setup. That's an altcoin, I guess, right? Not doing alts at the moment though. But feel free to tag me in Discord. My indicator is called not MCA and not MCB, and they are useful if you can understand momentum and volume. They are free, but by word of mouth, I'll share the link. Yeah. Oh wait, links in this chat are blocked because of making sure that scammers can't post random links and stuff. If people are interested, of course, make sure to check this out. This is made by Jonathan Schaefer. Dave Digital, also in the chat here, is a user of this, not MCA, not MCB. So I have no idea. Yo. Hello? Posted the links in your Discord. Oh, wait, you can't, they're not actually in the, I see. I guess in general, no? I see. 1 second. So Jonathan is kind enough to build an indicator all by himself and put it online, and people are using it. And yeah, I mean, why not? So I don't use it. I have no idea. But if someone is interested, check it out. Make sure to build your own statistics and build your own experience, right? Never go by others. At least I recommend to always test yourself, right? Test yourself. I think pleasure, Daniel. Can you share? I don't know. Yeah, YouTube blocks them, but I share them now. Don't bother about the link. I don't like clicking links, phishing scams. Yeah, so that's why I turned it off. Links in the comment section as well as live chats, everything is turned off because of the scammers. So yeah, but because Dave Digital, by now I know Dave pretty well here, right? Also Mark Dutch, the moderator of this channel, knows Dave Digital very, very well, and Dave uses it, so I have no problem to share it. Taking care of business. This is only for day traders. Are you talking about the indicator or the channel? This YouTube channel, like the indicator, I don't know because I don't use it. But the YouTube channel is both for swing traders as well as day traders. A bit less for scalpers, I guess, if you really go into 1, 3, and 5 minute. But if anyone is a day or swing trader or more like a long-term investor, then yeah, that's stuff we cover here because we cover many different time frames. 135K in November. Ooh, that would be exciting, no? 100 plus. That would be a big moment in history. News is going to be full if that happens, right? Jonathan, oh wait, okay, you are Alexo Crypto's main mod. Oh well, there you go. Then I bet that in Alex's Discord and like different channels, people are using it. So it's a small world. I had no idea. Let me go to his Discord. You're probably online now. Mother Otter Sheriff. Not Jonathan Shaver. There we go. Modding the mods. There you go. I am an Antarctica native. For real? I'm living in the internet because there's nothing. You live in Antarctica? There's no way. Well, I'm not really up to date. Jeez. Are you living in Antarctica? There's like for real? Where were we? According to the TradingView stats. Oh, it's actually nice that TradingView shares some stats about it. Solana, I did the analysis on Solana. If you go to my homepage, channel homepage, you scroll down this video. I did Solana on the higher time frames. In this particular live stream, I actually got to go. It's 5 p.m. now. But I will do more altcoin, stock, and other dedicated streams. But this was the altcoin stream. So I can recommend checking this out for Solana on the higher time frames. What do you think of Market Cipher? Waste of money. Dutch gets around Jesus town bike. I mean that's the Dutchies in a nutshell, right? Going through using the bike and stuff. No, look, the thing with Market Cipher, I do think it's a waste of money, but before doing this type of stuff, right? Like if you're new to the market and you think that something like this is going to help you out to become a profitable trader, you're making a $500 or whatever it costs mistake. Because the indicator itself will not propel you to be profitable. Because you'll still have to go through the 6 steps I mentioned earlier, right? The 6 steps in a nutshell: try as many free tools as you can, find your favorites and build statistics, build a combination of tools based on your favorites and check more statistics. Step 3. Step 4, tweak and adjust your favorite, your tools. So take something out, add something, track more statistics. Step 5, start trading at low budget, work on trading psychology. Step 6 is when you increase your budget. So if you buy Market Cipher for whatever price it is nowadays, before even starting step 1 and 2, like step 2, it's such a waste of money because you still got to go through the whole process. The red dot or the green dot will not make you profitable. It's still a combination of different tools you'll have to use. So you still need to collect data, get used to using other tools, build experience, work on your mindset. So before you go and buy indicators, I think you can better put your money to education instead of doing this. So go to channels, YouTubers, companies, whatever, where you think you can learn something, put your money there and actually increase your brain in that, instead of you know, spending your money on something like this. If you have gone through everything and you found things that work for you, and then later, once you got experience, you're interested in adding market cipher because there are elements in market cipher that you like to use, and it's a combination. Maybe market cipher reduces the amount of indicators you need on your chart because it's a combination of indicators, right? But then you already have so much experience and you have so much like data by that time, it's fine, right? Because then you make a well argument based type of like decision. But usually the people that buy this type of stuff are brand new in the market, and it's an absolute waste of money. It's probably promoted as like the golden thing. You know, I respect the guy. From a business perspective, he has positioned himself very, very well. But yeah, this that's what I think. Saragaj, can you please show the bear market targets if your yellow big 5 ends? What kind of global pullback can we expect? Well, there would be two scenarios in that case. The first one is a flat where you go down. Most common flat is actually a expanding flat, but I think that's it's a bit far-fetched at the moment. So imagine you have 100k, right? 100k Bitcoin pop, and you reject. You're still in a flat area, A, B, and then a wave C. Now, an expanding flat has a target below wave A, but a running flat above. And going below like 15 is very far-fetched at the moment. A running flat, however, is rare. Another scenario, if you are talking about a big rejection at around 100k, and I don't have the full chart here of Bitcoin, right? But that is that in the whole cycle of where Bitcoin is, we are working on a wave 5 here. Right, so you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. And after 5, wave 5, right? That is when you finish a higher degree. I got to think now, 3, and then you go for a bigger 4, and then you continue again. Now, in this case, you can go back and visit 30, 40 K. And the final one, which I did share in my macro high time frame and cycle video, this playlist, is the 0.5 over here, which then gives you, and then I gotta go to log, about 40k. So generally the 40, 50, you know, K area, that's a very important area in general. Also just outside of your question, if you reject that. But that very, you know, you first want to see weakness and all that stuff, and we're not close to looking for those targets. But I guess it answers the question. So yeah. If World War III breaks out, what will happen to Bitcoin? Who knows? Look, so I follow Elliott Waves. I don't follow fundamentals. But what was very interesting with the COVID move is that it was as expected. It's just that people labeled it as, oh, we dumped because of COVID. And I labeled it as we dumped because we have a wave 2. Right, so we have an impulsive move to the upside in a wave 1. We're looking for a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside to targets between the 05 and the 786. Right, we put a fib from the low to the high. Right, between the 05 and the 786, we want to see a 3-wave corrective structure. Right, and then we have our move to the downside, move up, corrective move up, and then we have a move down. This is your COVID candle. Right. Nothing weird. Closed inside the golden pocket, which is your most common actually target area for a wave 2. Hit the 786, did not hit the 886. Yeah, perfect. So I think by the time we might have World War III or something, there's probably already signs in the chart where we're going to be looking for bearish movement. And then if we get a big dump, then the stamp from a fundamental perspective could be World War III or whatever it's going to be. But COVID for me was a wave 2. Love Elliott waves. Are we bullish or bearish? Depends on the time frame. But on the higher time frames, bullish. Yes. Ooh, wow. I gotta go. What? You can only live in an article for a few months of the year. I see. Man, I gotta keep. What's your thoughts on alt season? I don't trade alts, so I know very little about alts. I do analyze them. So I do have the big video on my channel here, 6.5 hours of altcoin analysis on 19 different altcoins. Timestamps are in the description. But yeah, alt season and things, I'm not really involved with when that happens. I believe usually it's when Bitcoin starts ranging, though. Yeah. That's for me to know on the internet, try to figure it out. Okay, not living there. Yeah, exactly. Have a fantastic day. Yo, cheers, Jonathan. Thanks for hopping in. Consensus. Learn the basics first. Yes. Yeah, that's why it's free. White paper something that should be free and can create value for everyone. Not MC as a clone, but as most will say, it is the best clone out there and makes MC not worth it. Yeah, that's another thing, right? You probably have clones and stuff as well. Yeah. Cheers, Jonathan. Checks Bonkbot. You use indicators to help you with your data. You don't use indicators to tell you when exactly. Not it. Exactly. This is completely true. An indicator is not a sell buy. It helps you with the context and everything, right? Now, there are so many free indicators that I think that you can probably build a strategy for free. That's what I did. Elliott Waves is one way of trading, but my main strategy is actually not. So I use Elliott Waves for swing trading, right? Because that's what I prefer with Elliott Waves. But my main day trading strategy is a self-made strategy over years of collecting data. And this fits exactly in this, right? Indicators help you with your data, like you collect data, because indicators can be incredibly valuable. They can help, like they work, but they work if you manage to collect data about the indicator and know when to use it and when not to use it. Like the CVD that I show here, right? It's also context dependent. It's not like every CVD divergence that you see is going to be a trade, right? Because then likely you're going to be a losing trader. So I completely agree with what Rolf says here. Any indicator can help, but it's about the context. I watched your last video. Is it possible that we are in the third major wave, the second smaller wave of the third intermediate wave? Woo! Let me read that again. Is it possible that we are in the third major, the second smaller of the third intermediate? But that's of the third intermediate. But that is that's the second scenario, no? That I showed in the video. Because if so, then yes, this can be a wave 2, like 1 to 1 to 1 2, so the third 1 2. Yes, but then wave 2 is not allowed to be a triangle, and wave 2, once we break out above 74, you want to see an increased amount of volume on the weekly. Yeah, 100K is going to be important. I highly suggest start watching Flopping Gropper, and you will see that I couldn't be farther from true. He really gives a crap about people. I actually don't know. I don't know what you mean, but I'll be interested in checking Flopping Groper. What the hell? Ah, I see. Flopping Groper. I'm the brother of Crypto Face and overseer at Market Cyver. Going public to help spread the message of blockchain and cryptocurrency and Market Cyver. That last part was not in his explanation, but I added that part there. So we now hit the value area high. Again. Now this looks, of course, we see some probably a volume increase as well here. Look at the volume. You can see it live, eh? Volume coming in here. A little bit of a rejection. Now, earlier we said there's not too much resistance to the upside. We do have the bearish CVD, but if we take this high, that's going to be invalidated. So let's see what happens here. There's not too much resistance, right? Golden pocket has been tested already. Point of control of this little bit tested already. It's pretty much the value areas. There's two value areas actually. This is one and another one between the 886 and the 786. But yeah, not too much left. We also have a bit of volume coming in. What's happening here? 3 min. Exciting. Bullish on blue, bearish on yellow. You know, it's we're still in the middle, so I, as mentioned earlier, remain like in this range here. Personally, I mean, people do what they want to do. No financial advice. I have no interest whatsoever in this range. So I have a position open, but that is from lower. So, and that's after I came back from holiday. When I went on holiday, I closed everything. Also from an Elliott Wave point of view, it was a good moment because a range was expected. But the timing was nice with my holiday and my wedding. So throughout the whole month, I didn't put on one trade. That was nice. But yeah, this range, I have no interest. Weekend ranges, we now took this high here as well. So let's see. If price hits the 886, that gives confidence to take this high. Right. We have an 886 touch here at the low. We still have bear CVD, which isn't invalidated. Very much patience. 46K was the real level from the last top I'm looking at. Anything above that was SPF and CZ. 46K. I see. More of a fundamental trader I can see as well. I don't actually know Alameda. Yeah. Right. I know, right? It might be. Yeah, possibly. Sure, imagine. That would be... Yeah, I mean, let's just hope it doesn't get that far. I already freely shared the links. Totally free, and the code is open source. Yeah, so he shared his links in Discord, general chat, but also I posted them in here. If you scroll up, what's your thought on the short on Bitcoin right now? Depends on your plan and strategy. I'm not in a position to give financial advice, but at the moment here locally, I remain very, very patient. On a higher time frame, it's very clear probabilities are higher for 74K or higher on a daily/weekly time frame. But of course, now we're in a horizontal range. The expectation and the probabilities are at the moment the highest in this on a 4-hour time frame to continue this range and not yet look for a breakout above 74K from where we are now, but just continue for a longer period of time where then at a later stage we can pinpoint more precisely when we have a potential low and move up. But at the moment here with this weekend range stuff, I'm generally not interested. And also this what we are forming at the moment, it doesn't repeat, but price can rhyme. This looks a lot like what we had on the 20th of January. And I just like to be patient, right? We have some resistance above price. We have some support below price. Weekend range here, I'm not involved. I like to wait for more clarity on the very low time frame. So the higher time frames are actually quite clear from an Elliott Wave point of view. It's just that very, very locally on the 15-minute, I just want to wait for this range and see what's up. But with a short, very much your own plan, own strategy. Make a plan and trade the plan. Oris Miller, what's up? We watched about just passing through, heading on a road trip. Have fun with the road trip. I'm curious where you're road tripping. Enjoy, man. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Yes, I did share it above and in the general chat. Hey, Goran. Hey, after a while, there he is. Welcome to the members, man. Thanks for your support. Welcome to Bronze. What's up? How you doing? Appreciate the support, Goran. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. After a while of hanging out here, you now got the badge, the bronze badge, which will turn silver and gold and whatnot. But cheers, man. Appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you. Well, actually, I'm saying for 20 minutes already. I actually gotta stop. We do alts on this channel, but like very rarely, because Bitcoin is by far the focus. But sometimes we like a dedicated alt stream. Now the alt you're asking about, Gala. I'm not sure if I actually did it in the video. You might have to check. Timestamps and all the coins are in the description. But now we just have Bitcoin, and I really gotta stop. So pleasure, Vegas Nick. What's your favorite volume indicator that's not CVD? Yeah, the stock volume, this one. Just this one. And if I want more detail, then I use the volume spread for VSA so that I can actually see the number. So you can see the number here, right? 648, 62, low number here, 20 and 30s and whatnot. So if I'm comparing two candles, but the volume might be pretty close, then I like to use this indicator, right? So that is the volume spread for VSA. Yeah. A move by Monday. I mean, unless next week, like we're still ranging, and we have the triangle scenarios as well as the WXY. The WXY would lead to, or WXY is at the moment a bit the only one that could lead to a low below 64K. The triangles would create higher lows. So yeah, let's see there. If you just got married, congrats. Thank you. I did. Is Monday the, I actually have no idea. So is Monday the halving, I guess? Yeah, now it's about support, correct. Do a couple of leg ups after you get off. Yeah. I did calisthenics yesterday, also including my power tower here, like the home trainer, I guess, or whatever you like to call it. And yeah, I can still feel it, the workout of yesterday. Muscle aches, also here, right, from the pull-ups. Shit. Yeah, still live, but I gotta go. Okay. David, welcome. How you doing? I gotta go, guys. David, welcome. But I've been online now for over 2 hours, and I gotta do some other stuff still. But David, good to see you popping in. Sorry that I have to go, but hopefully soon we can chat. So does it come with batteries? Yeah, your muscles, right? Those are the batteries. What the hell? I have no idea. But David G, thanks for popping in. And everyone else, thanks for coming to the live stream, spending some of your valuable time the past 2 hours. And yeah, let's see what price is going to give us. Let's see if we get any more information before 7 p.m. Like tonight, I upload a normal video. So the analysis of things that we spoke about now will also probably be covered there. Maybe a bit more depending on the info we get in the upcoming 1.5 hour, 2 hours. Let's see if anything happens. But yeah, I will upload a video tonight as well. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna see you again tomorrow, because tomorrow is another live stream, and tonight is an update, tomorrow morning is a normal update, and then tomorrow afternoon is another live stream. So cheers guys.